So this is going to be a bit of a different video. I'm not going to, I kind of didn't plan this. Also feel a bit nervous about talking about this, so if I stop a lot or if I say a lot, please don't roast me. Please understand that this is a very difficult topic for me to talk about, but I wanted to do it because I know that it can help people out there. Overcoming an eating disorder was just one of the things that I had to face. I'm not here to kind of play the victim or kind of ask people to feel sorry for me, but I'm just here to say that now I feel so much more confident and happy. That means that if I overcame certain things in my life and certain bad experiences and certain bad events, I would say, so can you, okay? So this is not the end, okay? As you might know, or you might not know, if you follow me on my social media, you will know that I used to battle anorexia. I wish I had more pictures, but I honestly, at that stage of my life, as you can imagine, when you're so insecure, I used to hate my body, and I didn't want to take pictures. Why would I take pictures of me? I actually remember at high school as well, when there used to be group pictures, I always used to remember it that well. I used to hate myself so much. I used to hate my face so much that I used to cover my face. Like even up to like a couple of years ago, when people used to take a picture of me, I used to like always cover my face because I just used to hate pictures or anything. And it's so ironic because that's now with my job. Actually, I do everything based on social media, but it explains how much I've grown out of it. Obviously I don't want to I honestly hate talking about this, but because I don't want people to think, oh, poor her, like I don't want people to pity me. That's the last thing I want, okay? First of all, because I'm not on that place, and I don't want you to do that either. I used to be bullied at school. I didn't have a great relationship with my classmates and with some people of other classrooms as well. That kind of led to a sort of me starting to believe that I wasn't good enough, because people made me believe that I wasn't good enough. So I started not eating, starving myself basically, because I thought maybe if I was skinny like the pretty girls in my classroom, maybe I would have been accepted as well. So that kind of became anorexia nervosa, and it kind of became a mental thing because I started losing weight beyond that limit and I could not see it. I remember the first thought that I used to think about when I used to wake up in the morning was just to go and to run to the scale and just think that I used to be so fat, and the first thing I would always worry about a scale and whether my weight has dropped or not. And if I woke up and my weight had fluctuated higher and higher than I expected, I used to it's just really hard for me to explain, but I used to scratch myself and I used to like physically punch myself and hurt myself, and I would punish myself by not eating or eating as little as possible that day. So I remember when I used to have breakfast, we don't really eat together for breakfast as a family, but in Italy it's tradition that we normally eat together for lunch and dinner. So for breakfast, for me, it was easier to skip my meals because we kind of all woke up at different times to go to work or school. Obviously, in my case, I used to go to school. But for lunch, I remember it was only me and my dad, because my mum would just come back from work like really late, and I would sit on the completely opposite side of the table so that my dad wouldn't see me. I would place like bottles and food, so then there would be that kind of sort of barrier so that my dad wouldn't see it. My dad was a very busy person, he wouldn't really like notice anyway, but while he put like that plate of food on, like the plate of in front of me, I used to have napkins ready, and I used to like scoop it out of the plate and just hide it. I used to have even like a small bag and just hide it and then throw it to the toilet either. Or I used to like spread it strategically in the plate so that, for example, it looked like basically the middle was there. It was honestly sick now thinking about it, and sometimes the only meal that I would have was when my mum was back, because my mum is a bit harder for me. My mum would really watch me because she would see that I was so skinny, and I would eat in front of her. So probably I would have like one meal a day. I felt so many times that I felt like so dizzy and I passed out, to the point that I also lost my menstrual cycle. And it was so hard because people used to tell me like, Kiara, what you did, why are you so skinny, why are you getting so skinny? And I used to completely not even understand it. My relationship with food was absolutely horrible. I remember when it was around Christmas or New Year's, and you know, like when it's like family time, there's so much food. I used to wake up and hate it, sorry. Because I would think that I would just get, because I would think that I would get fat, and then people will start abusing me even more at school. And people, if I got fat, I associated me with getting fat with the fact that people wouldn't like me even more. It would get even more targeted even more, when the problem was never the food. It was never me looking in a certain way on set. The problem was never me looking fat or skinny, because even if I was skinny, people wouldn't stop. Like, it wasn't something related to food or me looking in a certain way. It was the fact that I was weak, and people, sometimes it's just really hard to admit it, but sometimes people like to take advantage of other people when they see them that they're not able to respond back and they're at the weakest. That's what bullies kind of do. They kind of target like weaker people that cannot defend themselves. And I know that I couldn't at that time. But I remember just getting to a point that I didn't think it was even me like worthy of like this life, like living anymore, because whatever I was trying to do, I would never fit in. And it was so hard for me to accept that, because I was trying my best. I was nice to people and people wouldn't still accept me. I was still ugly for them. I was still a nerd. I was still I don't know, like people used to call me all the names possible. Like, it's true, like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I wasn't the prettiest. I didn't used to wear any makeup. I didn't know anything about clothes, or I honestly didn't care. I didn't really know. Like, I'm still like not great with my fashion. I don't really have a great fashion sense right now. I just care about like, I just wear kind of like gym things, and that kind of makes me happy. And I used to be really, really shy. Like, honestly, you wouldn't believe, like I was almost like mute. Like, I wouldn't speak to strangers. I would just get, if someone approached me and spoke to me, I would just literally blush. Okay, I was absolutely like the most timid person you ever thought. And it's crazy to think how that changed now, and how nowadays I speak to thousands of people, and I don't care if someone thinks that I'm not pretty enough, if they don't like something about me. I honestly do not give a flying F, to be fair. But the point is, when I started to realize that what I was doing, trying to please people, it didn't take me anywhere. Like, it didn't make them accept me. I didn't become part of their group of friendship. They didn't stop bullying me. They never did. If anything, I started seeing that I was getting ill. I was getting to the hospital a few times. I was passing out in public. I was really hurting my family. Like, my mum was so worried about me, and I also lost my period. I had to have a few visits with the doctor, and he basically said that if I had continued this way, with starving my body to this level, I wouldn't have been able to have kids in the future. And that would have affected me permanently. That kind of made me realize that what I was doing was really damaging and myself, and it wasn't improving the situation. So I had to get help, which I did. Overcoming an eating disorder is not easy. You can't, some people can do it by themselves, others you need special help. I'm not afraid, I'm not ashamed to say that I've used a therapist in the past. I think a lot of people don't realise when you're skinny and people keep telling you just eat, it's not that easy. Like, people would just know. I used to physically feel sick trying to force myself. I didn't even used to get like 400 calories probably in a day. And me just trying to pass from like a healthy, substantial amount of food, it was honestly very, very difficult considering my mental issues as well, my mental health issues as well. So it's something that happened gradually. I didn't pass from being able to lift 10 kilos to like who I am now, and being able to lift 200 kilos and 180 kilos, whatever. It's something that takes time, and you need to be patient with yourself. But it's a journey that for me started with self-love. It wasn't when I started to join the gym the first time. That was a couple of months after I started recovering. I was just really determined to start everything from zero, okay? This is when I changed country and I moved from my hometown, from Sicily, to Manchester in the United Kingdom. I wanted to start from zero. I wanted to start a new life. I wanted to be away from all the people, because like my town is just really, really that small. So everyone, like there was negativity like everywhere, and just seeing, even like the thought of seeing these people just made me feel sick. So I wanted to start from zero, just leave everything there and restart my life. And slowly but slowly that kind of I started my I used to practice a lot of self-love, and I know that is sounds a bit cheesy, but along with my therapy as well, that helped me a lot to become stronger, more confident, to kind of speak up for myself and kind of start to defend myself and put myself first. When you're struggling with eating and you feel full all the time, because your body just literally, your stomach is like it shrinks when you're not eating. So you can't just prescribe or like tell a person that is struggling to eat, just eat this, finish it. No, it doesn't work like that. I couldn't finish my meals at the beginning. I had to just really increase the portions slowly, just trying to eat as often as I could so that I could just build my appetite back again. Okay, and once I started being able to consume at least 3 meals a day, I decided to join the gym. And listen, I didn't join the gym to have a booty, to grow glutes, to lose weight, no. I wanted to start everything from zero. I wanted to feel strong and a powerful woman, despite what other people were saying about me and what people could ever say about me today. I was training because I noticed that my strongest part of my muscle were my legs, okay? So I was still training every other body part, but because I saw that I was strong, I could actually be with my legs comparing to my upper body. I obviously started focusing on those more. Not because I wanted to grow a booty, that kind of came with it. I actually remember the first time that I actually realized that I had gained a bit of mass on my bum. It wasn't even me, it was literally my friend. Like I was at uni and we went to the gym together, and she was like, "Oh my God, Kiara, your bum is looking really nice." And I was like, oh. I just like literally didn't even notice that. I didn't care. I didn't care about getting a bum to impress a guy, to impress other people, to have people clapping for me. No, I didn't do it for that. I just genuinely enjoyed training, and I wasn't doing it for a purpose. I remember researching into it, like how to grow muscles, how to feel stronger. As soon as I started the gym, that's why now I'm able to lift 200 kilos. Because as soon as I started the gym, my main goal was feeling stronger. So I always work towards being able to lift heavier. For me, it was all about lifting heavier, being able to lift a certain amount of weight for me. That was the goal, feeling like Wonder Woman kind of thing, and that was the whole idea. And that's why now people ask, how can you lift 200 kilos? Well, it took me like 5 years. I started from 10 kilos and I remember me shaking, not being able to complete a full set. And today I'm not the strongest, I'm not the leanest. I'm not perfect, I'm not lean, I haven't got abs, I don't have, I don't know, the greatest muscle definition, I haven't got biceps or whatever you want to call it, but I'm happy with how I feel with my body and how I feel with myself. And listen, this is a journey that is always never going to end. It's never going to end. There's still times when I feel insecure. There's still times when I feel like I'm not good enough, and that's fine, okay? That's just part of life. But that's why I want to keep working on myself, and I have to keep doing it every single day. Just like you go to the gym to train your muscle, and if you stop, then your muscle kind of goes weaker. The same thing is with your mind. It's something that you have to work for it. And listen, you might think, oh my God, I can't be asked working for it, but you have to, because it's for yourself. Just love yourself enough, respect yourself enough to dedicate enough time for you, and I promise you the results will be absolutely amazing. You will feel so much better about yourself. And today I feel so much better about myself because I've put the effort. I'm proud of what I've achieved today, not because I've achieved a certain physique, but for me it's the success of being able to be confident enough today to be able to defend myself, to be able, if someone comes to me and say you're a piece of crap, I say, yeah, okay, but I don't believe that, because I know that I love myself enough not to believe that that is true. And I'm sorry if this sounded a bit of a weird video. If I got a bit emotional, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to be honest and true with you and just tell you my story, and hoping that it can really motivate you to be strong and to really believe in yourself, because you can. I managed to get from A to B and become completely so much stronger than I used to be. So can you. If I managed to being able to lift 10 kilos to 200 kilos today, so can you, okay? If you are in a bad situation at the moment, it doesn't mean that you will be in it forever. And I hope, sorry if this was too strong, or I didn't really plan this. I didn't plan a speech. I didn't plan what to talk about. I kind of just told you as I'm speaking along, because I want you to, I think it's just really hard for me to explain and to talk about something that for me it means so much and is so delicate still. So sorry if I made a lot of mistakes, if I said a lot of times, or if I repeated myself a load. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.